So Talia, we're picking up again. The last time, and the thing that people who are watching this video on my website, they will have just seen you project what you are going to be doing in the future. And I was interviewing you, you may remember, right after you'd completed a performance that night for the Oasis group, I think.
That's right.
Okay. But at that time, you were projecting that you had a lot of things going. Of course, you always do. But the big thing was Esther. So Ethel, excuse me. All right. Thinking of Esther somewhat. Ethel. And now you and I both know that we've gone through all of that and it's over and done with. And I would like you to reflect, if you would, how you feel about all that.
I really enjoy doing Ethel Rosenberg. I think it's a very important story. It fed right into my passion, which is bringing historical women's lives to the stage. I've done a lot of other one-woman plays on famous or should be famous or almost famous women, especially women who are in the shadow of their more famous husbands or spouses or lovers. And so Ethel Rosenberg was one such person. And in this case, Ethel actually died for her husband. There was no reason for her to die. Even if he was a spy, and even if they were guilty, there was no reason for her to receive the death penalty. And all she had to do was turn on him and they would have saved her. And she didn't. So it really, the story moved me very greatly. And I think it moved audiences. I think that people got to know Ethel and how her brain worked and why she did what she did. And that was important to me.
Well, as you know, I was there almost all the times. And what was interesting to me, because what you just said, there were people came and yes, they got to know Ethel better. But the other thing that interested me, and I know that some of them stayed to interact with you later, were so many people that actually had been there as children when this all happened.
Yes.
Do you remember some of the...
Absolutely. And I'll never forget one woman who said in her household, Ethel and Julius were spies and they were put to death as was appropriate, and that was the end of the discussion. And she said after seeing this play, she knew that there was a lot more to the story. And she was really, really touched by it. So when I could change people's views on who Ethel was, it was very satisfying. I mean, this was a real human being. So I always feel when I'm doing these kind of historical dramas that I'm channeling these women. So I don't take a lot of liberties. This one I did not write. Edward Morris wrote this one. But all the other one-woman plays, or even not one woman, but all the historical women plays I've done, I have not taken license, and neither did he. And I think I like that. He did his research, it was solid, and that's what I do. I tell the truth on stage from their perspective. It may not be complete historical truth, it is their truth. And it is their story I'm telling, and I'm remaining true to them. And that's really important to me. I wouldn't be using them as a jumping off point and making up stuff that I know is not historically accurate. I would not do that to them.
That's admirable. And, you know, having seen the show many times and see what happens with all the audience members, I mean, I'm kind of caught in this because so often people said, including one of my grandsons and son, gee, how could she learn all those lines?
Oh.
Which, as if you're a real actor, you know that,
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
It's true, there were a lot. But, I know there was so much more that you did. And on the earlier segment where I asked you about all these things you were doing and you talked about why you could do them. But, I want to say, and I still don't know how you did it, because I know for a fact how much promotion you did for this play. I know you went to Albuquerque, which for people watching this that don't know, it's a good hour or so drive, to attend a luncheon to promote it and yet come back and do a show. You made little take-home things, sachets for people. You did the food for the opening night. Yeah. I mean, give me a break. How can you do it? I mean, first of all, anybody that has really acted, and I mean really acted, to do the one-woman show is enough in itself.
I know. I try to have patience for people who say when they've got a show that day they can't do anything else that day. I try to have patience with those people. For me, it's literally breathing. It's just breathing. It's just breathing. I'm breathing now. I'll breathe on stage. I'll breathe while I'm sewing. I'll breathe while I'm cooking. It's just breathing. So what are you going to do with your day? You're just breathing. So why can't you do things before you get to the theater? I don't get it.
What a role model you are.
The other thing, the just breathing thing is sort of new for me, but it was sort of a discovery. I'll just breathe while I do this. I'll just breathe while I do that. There's no end to what you can do. It's all just breathing. You're still going to take X number of breaths in a 24-hour period. So you can do things while you're breathing, or you can sit and do nothing while you breathe. That's a choice. And it doesn't take any more energy for me to do something than to do nothing. In fact, doing nothing is really hard. That's hard work.
I think I would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I want to add, because I know, I've seen you in other shows. I know all these other things you're involved in. So, what I would like to ask is, you've been in the Santa Fe area now, and you've worked with everybody in one capacity or another. You've been active in many organizations. So after these, almost 3 years that you and your husband have been here?
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, going on 3.
And all this thing you've done, of which has been a great deal. How do you feel about things now?
It's very interesting to me. This is home. I have come to the realization that if something were to happen and I was here on my own, heaven forbid, I would stay. That's where I am now. And that's kind of a huge admission. That's how home I am.
Well, that's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Do you have any regrets of things you have done here that you wish you'd done it a different way?
Oh, I like to think we all get wiser one moment at a time. So I have maybe momentary regrets here and there, but it's also important for me to remind myself that some of the things I regret turned out way better as a result of me, losing something, or fill in the blank. So, that one didn't work out. Wow, if I would have done this and this, maybe it would have worked out. No, it all just flows. It all happens for a reason, it seems. It's all working out really, really beautifully.
Well, I want to thank you for the time you've been giving me, because, and I hope people will get inspired when they see this. I just admire you so much. And
well, that's very kind. I admire you, and I know I'm not alone on that.
Well,
you were an enormous help to me throughout the process of getting ready for and performing Passion of Ethel Rosenberg. Really, you were just absolutely there for me every moment, and I appreciated that so much.
Well, somebody needed to be.
It was you.
And I usually do things like that when I see somebody needs to be. But I couldn't get you to quit doing all the things you were doing. So, but anyway.
Somebody needs to, right?
Yeah, somebody has to. So anyway.
Has to.
Well, it's been delightful, and I so appreciate it. Okay?
Thank you.
And we'll be looking forward to your next, whatever you're going to do.
That'll be something.
Directing, acting.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop anytime.